Welcome to Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. We're joined today by the mayor of Chula Vista. Her name is Mary Salas. We're so glad she's with us today. And Chula Vista is on the move, and you're making sure people know that.
Oh, yes.
So tell us about your new marketing imaging campaign that's spreading the good news about Chula Vista.
Okay, so we launched a marketing and image campaign several months ago. And so we did it because we really felt that people don't know Chula Vista.
Right.
Even people in the region, they have the image of Chula Vista of 20 or 30 years ago.
It's a border town. We don't know what's happening there.
Right, and you know, so many great things are happening in Chula Vista. Things like us being one of the 10 safest cities of our size in all the United States. Are being named the 11th happiest city in the country. Let's see what else.
You know what people may not realize about Chula Vista? It's the second largest city in the county.
It is.
250,000 people live in Chula
more
Vista.
than 250,000.
Yeah, I mean, this is a real significant driver in this region.
And we have so many tremendous opportunities ahead of us. We have 590 acres of cleared land on our bayfront for development.
Beautiful.
That's the biggest piece of coastal property on the West Coast.
Right.
And we have that in Chula Vista. And we're in the process of negotiating an agreement with the port, with Rita Company, the hotel
I know
developer,
this. Yes, I know this.
and the city. And within the next couple of weeks, we will be making an announcement that the deal has been struck.
Apparently your voters agree that Chula Vista is a pretty terrific place because you put a measure on the ballot, meaning the city put a measure on the ballot in November known as Measure P, looking to increase sales tax. It's not easy to get a sales tax increase passed. You had 68% of your voters say yes. You know, yes, tax me more. That's remarkable.
I think because the city of Chula Vista built a good case of how it had acted responsibly, fiscally responsible in the wake of the recession, that we made an awful lot of cuts to our staff, and we did all kinds of streamlining and consolidations of our departments. So in the city of over 250,000 people, we have fewer than 1,000 employees.
Wow.
And so we run lean, but we run efficiently. But yet with all of that, the efficiencies, we were not keeping up with our maintenance of our assets.
And let's talk about that, because I understand in the run-up to putting Measure P on the ballot, you had some analysis developed to determine, you know, if we should have a sales tax measure, if we should have additional revenue, these are the following assets, as you described it, that need to be addressed.
Right.
What did you learn?
Okay, so we learned that our priorities for repair were exactly the priorities of the city. Of the city residents, they mirrored it.
Oh, okay.
So we found that our greatest need was in our streets and our sidewalks, our fire facilities.
Sure.
We needed to spend more money on upgrading our vehicles, our police and fire vehicles.
Oh, wow.
We needed to upgrade our CAD system, our community-aided dispatch system.
Sure.
And so we surveyed our residents, and they agreed that, yes, we needed to commit resources to that to maintain our levels of service and to provide a safer and healthier community.
And so a lot of this, like you described, it's this deferred maintenance that gets put on the back burner when times are tough. But now you have this dedicated revenue stream. And so you're looking to spend that money specifically on these deferred maintenance needs.
Yes, so we actually have on our website a list of the projects. We also put into place a citizens advisory committee that will be looking at the way that we spend this money. So these monies that come into the city, which are projected to be between $15 and $16 million a year, they will be notated on a separate line item of our budget. And so our residents will be able to see exactly the money that's coming in and exactly where that money is being spent.
You mentioned roads, sidewalks. I want to focus on roads and ask, as you know, the state of California passed SB 1 recently, which is a gas tax increase and some other measures, and that's going to allow money to flow down to counties and cities to repair roads. And so I'm wondering, can you leverage that money coming from Sacramento with Measure P money and make, you know, it'll be a multiplier essentially?
Yes, so you know, even with that $15 to $16 million a year that's coming into the city, we're just taking care of our most critical needs. Okay, so we're taking care of assets that are in the red, in other words, failing.
Right.
Where the additional $2 to $3 million as a result of SB1 that will be coming to the city of Chula Vista, we'll be able to repair more and get into those assets that are in the yellow.
I want to shift gears and talk about an international question. As we know, Chula Vista, essentially on the border with Mexico, and is really a significant driver in what's known as the Cali-Baja region.
Right. Well, we're actually not on the border.
Right, essentially,
so we are 7 miles
of
away
course.
from the Mexican border. However, we are right in the center of the Cali-Baja region.
Right.
And that is a huge economic region. And we depend not only in the state of California, but nationally on the trade that goes back and forth between that border.
And let's talk about that trade, because what we know is that, well, arguably, we can look at various trade deals that have been made by prior presidential administrations. The current administration has been very critical of trade. And as we speak today, we know that the current president is looking to either blow up NAFTA or somehow alter it significantly, or maybe not, you know, who knows.
Well, I think that what the administration is learning is the positive effects of that trade agreement and the dependence of our U.S. manufacturers on NAFTA. So our president is learning that 40% of all the content of materials that are manufactured in Mexico are actually sourced from the United States.
The challenge, though, I would think, Mayor, is that those statistics we know well, but the president during his campaign talked repeatedly, especially in the upper Midwest, about the challenges that international trade has caused for those areas. And so while California may be benefiting from trade, the upper Midwest is facing challenges. And
but that's not true. So,
but that's the perception.
Yes, but it's not true.
Right.
So, for example, in the Midwest, a lot of the farmers that raise corn and other grains, they export so much of that to Mexico.
I heard just today that Iowa has been up in arms because if there's a stop with trade to Mexico, their corn won't go down there, and they sell a huge amount of corn to Mexico. So it is a complex issue.
It is.
As mayor of the second largest city in San Diego County, are you able to liaise with Washington to let them know how critical it is that, well, look, we can look at NAFTA and try to fix it at the boundaries, that if we blow it up, it could have a huge impact on.
Yes, it could.
Yes.
And I think that eventually it will cost a lot of jobs. For example, in the city of Chula Vista, we have many, many businesses that are located in the city of Chula Vista that are research and development kind of companies or administrative kind of companies. And so there's a lot of jobs there, but the advanced manufacturing is done in Tijuana.
Right. And that's the president's concern.
But the fact remains is we have the high-paying jobs on this side.
I understand.
Okay, so we do benefit from that. And yes, you know, there are other parts of the country, like in the steel belt, but that's not necessarily the trade imbalance. You know, that's the changing economy. It's a changing manufacturing economy. And so, you know, there's those aspects too.
We'd love to have you back and talk more about trade. It's a very important issue. We want to get more insight from you. Her name is Mary Salas. She is the mayor of Chula Vista. My name is Brad Pomerance in San Diego County today. This is Local Edition.